A comprehensive guide to fresco painting, techniques, materials, and best practices. Fresco, derived from the Italian word for fresh, is a centuries-old mural painting technique where pigments are applied to freshly laid lime plaster. This process chemically binds the pigment to the plaster as it cures, creating a durable and vibrant artwork that becomes an integral part of the wall itself. This guide will explore the various fresco techniques, materials required, resources for further learning, and best practices for successful fresco execution. The allure of fresco. Durability and beauty. Fresco holds a unique appeal due to its exceptional durability and the luminous quality of its colors. The resulting image is not simply applied to the surface but becomes part of the wall, resistant to flaking, fading, and weathering. Historically, fresco has adorned the walls of cathedrals, palaces, and public buildings, leaving a lasting legacy of artistic expression. Fresco techniques. A spectrum of approaches. While the fundamental principle of applying pigment to wet plaster remains constant, there are variations in execution, each with its own characteristics and challenges. Buon fresco. True fresco. The gold standard. Description. Considered the purest form of fresco. Buon fresco involves applying pigments suspended in water to a freshly laid, wet lime plaster, known as the intonaco. The pigments are absorbed into the plaster as it carbonates during the drying process, creating a permanent bond. Process 1. Preparation. The wall surface is prepared by removing loose particles and any previous coatings. A rough scratch coat, auricchio, is applied, often containing lime, sand, and sometimes pozzolan, volcanic ash. This layer provides a key for the intonaco. 2. Synopia. A preliminary drawing, the synopia, is often painted on the auricchio using a reddish-brown pigment, also called synopia. This serves as a guide for the final painting. Modern fresco painters often use other methods of transferring the design, such as cartoons pierced with holes spolvery. Intonaco application. The intonaco, a smooth, fine layer of lime plaster, is applied in sections. Giornate, Italian for a day's work, small enough to be painted while still wet. 4. Pigment application. Pigments mixed only with water are applied to the intonaco before it begins to dry. Working quickly and precisely is crucial. 5. Burnishing. Once the plaster is relatively dry, some areas can be burnished with a hard tool, like a stone, to create a polished effect. Advantages: exceptional durability, vibrant colors, and a unique luminous quality. Disadvantages: requires speed and precision, limited range of colors due to the alkaline environment. Some pigments are incompatible, and adjustments are difficult. Best practices: use high-quality hydrated lime that has been aged for several months, or even years. Aging allows for better workability and less cracking. Test pigments for their suitability and stability in lime plaster. Plan the giornate carefully to minimize visible seams. Apply the intonaco evenly and smoothly. Control the drying process to prevent cracking. Avoid direct sunlight and drafts. Fresco secco, dry fresco. An alternative approach description. Fresco secco involves applying pigments to a dried lime plaster surface. The pigments are bound to the wall using a binder, such as egg tempera, casein, or lime wash. Process 1. Preparation. Similar to buon fresco, the wall is first prepared with a scratch coat, auricchio. An intonaco layer is also applied, but allowed to dry completely. 2. Soaking. Optional. Some practitioners lightly soak the dry intonaco to improve adhesion of the paint. 3. Binder application. A binder, e.g., egg yolk mixed with water, casein, or lime wash, is applied to the dry surface. 1. Pigment application. Pigments are mixed with the binder and applied to the prepared surface. Advantages: allows for a wider range of colors and greater flexibility in execution. Corrections are easier to make. Disadvantages: less durable than buon fresco, prone to flaking, and degradation over time. Best practices. 1. Thoroughly clean the dried Intonico surface before applying the binder. 2. Choose a binder compatible with lime plaster and the desired aesthetic. 3. Apply the binder evenly and in thin layers. 4. Protect the finished fresco from moisture and environmental damage. Say, mezzo fresco, half fresco. A hybrid technique description. Mezzo fresco is a technique that lies between buon fresco and fresco secco. The pigment is applied to the Intonico when it is still damp, but not as wet as in buon fresco. Process. Similar to buon fresco, but the artist waits until the plaster surface is slightly drier before applying pigments. Advantages. Combines some of the durability of buon fresco with a slightly wider range of workable time. Disadvantages. Still requires speed and precision, and the bond is not as strong as in buon fresco. Best practices. Experiment with the timing to find the ideal level of dampness for pigment application. IA. Materials and resources. Essential tools for fresco painting. Lime plaster. Hydrated lime, slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. The core ingredient of fresco plaster. Choose high-quality, aged lime. Type S, hydrated lime is a good starting point, but traditionally, non-hydraulic lime is preferred. Aging improves workability and reduces cracking. Sand, aggregate, used to provide bulk and strength to the plaster. Choose clean, well-graded sand with varying particle sizes. Different sands will be necessary for the Orecchio, coarser, and the Intonico, finer. River sand is often preferred. Pozzolan, optional. Volcanic ash that can be added to the plaster mix for increased strength and water resistance. Additives, optional. Ingredients like marble dust or hemp fibers can be added to the plaster mix to improve its workability and reduce cracking. B. Pigments. Natural earth pigments. Ochres, siennas, umbers, and terre verdes are known for their durability and compatibility with lime plaster. Mineral pigments. Ultramarine blue, made from lapis lazuli, azurite blue, malachite green, and some iron oxides are also suitable. Synthetic pigments. Some modern synthetic pigments, such as iron oxides and titanium white, are also used in fresco painting, but careful testing is crucial to ensure their stability in the alkaline environment. Incompatible pigments. Avoid pigments containing lead, copper, or other metals that react with lime. C. Tools, trowels, for applying and smoothing the plaster. A variety of sizes and shapes are needed. Hawk, a flat, handheld board used to hold plaster while applying it. Brushes. For applying pigments, use natural bristle brushes in various sizes. Mortar mixer, optional. For mixing large batches of plaster, buckets and containers. For mixing and storing materials. Burnishing tools, stones, metal tools, or even hard brushes can be used to burnish the surface for a polished effect. Cartoons, full-scale drawings used as guides for the painting, can be transferred using the spolveri method pouncing, or by direct tracing, pencils, charcoal, and paper. For sketching and creating preliminary drawings, safety gear, gloves, eye protection, and a respirator are essential when working with lime. IV. Best practices for fresco painting. A recipe for success, thorough preparation is key. The success of a fresco depends heavily on proper preparation of the wall surface and plaster. Use high-quality materials. Invest in high-quality lime, sand, and pigments for optimal results. Test pigments for compatibility. Before using any pigment, test its suitability and stability in lime plaster. Plan the design carefully, create detailed cartoons, and plan the journate to minimize visible seams. Work quickly and precisely. Buon fresco requires speed and accuracy. Practice your technique before working on a large-scale project. Control the drying process. Protect the fresco from direct sunlight and drafts during the drying process to prevent cracking. Practice, practice, practice. Fresco painting is a challenging technique that requires practice and experimentation. Start with smaller projects and gradually work your way up to larger murals. Understand the chemistry. Familiarize yourself with the chemical reactions involved in fresco painting to better understand the process and troubleshoot potential problems. Respect tradition. Learn from the masters of fresco painting and respect the traditions of this ancient art form. Conclusion. A timeless art form, fresco is a demanding but rewarding art form that combines technical skill with artistic vision. By understanding the techniques, materials, and best practices outlined in this guide, artists can create durable and beautiful murals that will last for centuries. The journey of learning fresco is one of continuous exploration and refinement, offering endless possibilities for artistic expression. Good luck and enjoy the process.